The following is a presentation of PH Athletics. And on this beautiful Friday afternoon in Washington Township, welcome to the North 1 Group 2 Quarterfinals. Number 9 Pascack Hills and number 1 Westwood. The winner will end a drought of making the sectional quarterfinals that for Hills lasts back to their last state championship in 2023. For Westwood, a year longer. They last made the Sweet 16 of the state tournament in 2022. They would then lose in the sectional final. Winner of this game gets the winner of Ramsey and Riverdale in the all Big North Patriot top half of the North 1 Group 2 section. They started about 15 minutes ago, and they are going right now. It was top of the first last I saw, and 0-0. First pitch here in just a moment. And we're ready to go. It's a big game here in Washington Township, and with a big game, you got to have multiple announcers. So we've brought in Paul Hakimian once again. He was with us for the Hills Westwood softball game on Tuesday. And Paul, nice to have you back. What's the deal with these Cardinals? We saw them twice, but not as much as you've seen them.
Well, Matt, it's great to be back on the broadcast, and it's really about what these Cardinals can't do. They're having another juggernaut season going into their first game and their second game in the playoffs now, and we're just in for a good one all around right now.
First pitch from Joe Saratelli, 4:18 p.m. As we are underway. Saratelli this season, the most worked Westwood pitcher, 54.1 innings pitched. Wycus fouling that one off, so we have a 2-1 count here for the Hills senior. Has played all 4 years today at third base. He pitched in the first round state game at West Milford on Wednesday, so he cannot pitch today. And Saratelli on the mound this year, 43 strikeouts and a 2.71 ERA. The 2-1 to Wycus is in there for strike two.
I would say the bulk of Westwood's pitching situation this year has been in between Saratelli and the other senior, Jack Walsh, number 7, who also has ate up a bunch of innings, 35.2 for him on the year. But these are the two guys, they're really their main bread and butter.
Wank has fouled that one off, so we stay at a 2-2 count. Saratelli and Walsh were the two pitchers Hills faced when they beat Westwood. A big upset when Hills was at home, as we'll have a full count here for Wankus 3-2. They, of course, played twice this season. That's what you do when you're in the same league as these two teams are, and they split this season. Westwood beat them here 7-1. Then Hills beat them at their place 5-2. Wankus with a ground ball towards third. Throw to first will be in time, and there's one away.
So it looks like here we got another rubber match going, Matt. Maybe this time it'll go a bit more Westwood's way, though.
Yeah, you would hope.
Yeah.
Brings up Kyle Marquise now, the left fielder. And folks, if you haven't seen the Hills lineups yet this season, a lot of seniors. In fact, 8 of the 9 starters today and pretty much every game are seniors. The only non-starter is Dylan Cass, a freshman who today plays at first base. But this is Marquise, the left fielder, who has moved into this 2 spot this season and has performed admirably. Here's a pop-up, could be catchable, but instead goes foul.
Right, and Westwood has been a little bit of a, I wouldn't say senior heavy, but they lean upperclassman way. They have a couple of contributors, obviously. You have Saratelli and Walsh, but of course also Steve Klein, committed to Boston College for football, but he also does baseball, and he does it quite well. And then, of course, Charles Sarlo at catcher, and a couple of other names I'm probably blanking on right now, but yeah, it's definitely a upperclassman heavy team.
So 2 teams with a lot of experience, both in general and against each other. 0-2 for Marquise, swings and misses. Saratelli's first K of the day.
Right, and Saratelli, one of the things I admire of him, of course, is the strikeouts. But I think what I like better about him is how long he goes, and his inning counts. Really, it really tells us the story of how he's been kind of the big innings eater of the season.
Emerson Cho was going to come up. He's gone back into the dugout. Wonder what this is. While they sort that out, let's give you the Westwood fielding lineup. As we mentioned, Joe Saratelli on the mound. As catcher, as usual, is Charles Sarlo. At first, Jack Turcina, excuse me. Is that right, Paul?
I believe Turcina.
Turcina is the first baseman. He pitched in Westwood's first-round game against Sussex Tech, so he cannot pitch today. Vin Saratelli starts at second. Then at short, it's Jack Walsh, as that pitch in there for strike 1 on Cho. At third is Nick Klein, and the outfielders, Gabe Arcieri in left, Steve Klein, the aforementioned senior, in center, and Bruno Vega rounds out the lineup in right. It's an 0-2 count for Cho here as Saratelli looks to work an early 1-2-3 inning.
Right, and Turcina, when Coach Urbanovich of Westwood said to me that he was going to be starting the first playoff game, that's not the name I was expecting him to say, but he locks down things very well. He gave up 1 run and he threw a complete game, and he got the job done, though he did get a little help from the offense as well.
Well, it's an easy decision to make when you're the 1 seed going into a 1 versus 16 first-round matchup, as Cho pops that one up very shallow, caught, in fact, by Joe Saratelli, and that sends us to the middle of the first, scoreless. Westwood coming up in just a moment. Joe Napolitano gets the start for Hills, performed admirably against the Cardinals back a couple weeks ago in that 5-2 Hills win, or 5-3 Hills win. Apologies, he had 9 strikeouts in that 5-2 win. Just surpassed 100 career strikeouts a couple games ago. And this season, 34.2 innings pitched, 54 Ks, 3.23 ERA. First batter he faces is Jack Walsh, this year 37 for 84.
And talking about records, well, for starters, Walsh committed to Rowan for baseball. But then talking about records, he just actually, a couple games near the end of the season, he broke the hits record for Westwood baseball.
He's got a deep drive to center field right here. Giantonio under it and makes the grab to put one away.
So Walsh, he's one, I'd say one of the anchors of the batting, obviously.
That brings up Gabe Arcieri, the left fielder, and let's take a look at the Westwood lineup. Of course, Walsh leads off. Arcieri up now. On deck is Steve Klein, the center fielder, then Charles Sarlo, Vin Ceratelli, and Nick Klein, and the 7-8-9 is Jack Tercina, Jackson Kirkby, the DH for Joe Ceratelli, the pitcher, and Bruno Vega, the right fielder, rounds it out. There's a called strike to begin Arcieri's at-bat. Will give you the Hills fielders. Of course, Napolitano on the mound here as there's a ground ball towards Dylan Cass at first. Good play to Napolitano, who cuts on the bag.
Hills settling down these first two batters pretty quickly here.
Yes, they are. So 2 up, 2 down very quickly indeed. That brings up Steve Klein, who, as you said, didn't play for most of this season, still has racked up a 15 for 34 record from the plate. That's good enough for a 441 average.
Right. Originally, he was just going to, this year, take on more of a manager position role, but then he was thrust into play when outfielder Marty Ekmechian got hurt.
And here's a ground ball towards Cass at first again. He'll step on the bag this time. 3 up, 3 down in very quick fashion for Napolitano. No score, end of 1. Back now to begin the second inning, and for Hills, the cleanup hitter Jake Zabo, the catcher committed to William Patterson, 38 for 89 this season. Good enough for a 427 average and over 1,000 for his OPS. And he takes ball 1 there from Ceratelli. Let's go around this section real quick, the quarterfinal round in North 1 Group 2. Out in High Point in Sussex County, Glenrock, the 7 seed, upsetting number 2 High Point 1-0. So the 7 seed is on to the sectional semifinals. They'll face the winner of number 3 Vernon and number 11 Sparta. Last we heard a 0-0 tie in the bottom of the 5th. Sparta, the 11 seed, upset Pascack Valley, the 6 seed, in the first round of the state tournament on Wednesday. And in our half of the bracket, winner of this game playing the winner of the 4-5 matchup between Ramsey and Riverdale. That game started about 15 minutes before we did, and Ramsey and Riverdale currently tied at the bottom of the second.
I think something definitely to keep an eye on, and Matt, I know you probably don't want this, if Westwood advances from this game and Ramsey advances from their game, we could see another brother matchup.
Yes, the coaches' brothers. It's a good story. Can't let that happen, though.
Right. But definitely a good storyline to track down, though.
It would be. 3-2 for Jake Zabo here, and he calls time. On deck, Christian Lee, and then Dylan Cass. And the 7-8-9 in the Hills lineup is John Giantonio, Gavin O'Donnell, and the Hills starting pitcher, Joe Napolitano, rounds it out. And a ground ball towards second base. Throw to first is in time. Nice play made by Vin Saratelli to back up his brother.
Right. Yeah, Vin Saratelli, he's another definitely on the younger side, an up-and-comer, not just here in baseball, but also in basketball. And he definitely is looking to follow in his brother's footsteps in both regards.
I remember them back in basketball season. They played like brothers, I'll tell you. So here's Christian Lee now, and he pops one up, and this one going foul into the creek.
Yeah, right. This whole field is actually surrounded by rivers on both sides, so yeah, a lot of those deep foul balls end up. If you're down there, you can hear just like a, and and it's right in the water.
Very lucky the field isn't marshy.
Right.
With all the water that surrounds it, I'm sure there's a little under it.
Yeah, shout out to the grounds team.
Yeah, very good grounds team. Here's a ground ball towards third, charging and making the throw to first. Great play there, Paul.
Yeah, that was a great play there from Nicky Klein, and he's shown that that range at third base really all season. I've been watching him making those plays, and it just shows the Klein ability.
So neither team has allowed a base runner just yet. Here is Dylan Cass, the freshman, trying to break that. As we said, the only non-senior to start for Hills at all this season, and he is a freshman. He's at first today, can also pitch, and he's 21 for 73, has a line drive, and that goes foul.
Wow, so very senior-heavy team. So this is kind of all the chips all in for you guys right now.
It is. Well, maybe they'll reclass, but I think it might be too late for that.
Well, if they reclass, that means we got to reclass and
no, don't do that.
Year.
No. 0-1 for Cass. Here's the pitch. And that's in there on the inside, 0-2. Saratelli picked up his first K against Marquise in the first, looking for number 2 here. The 0-2 to Cass, low and in. Beautiful day here at Westwood High School. Mid to low 70s. A nice breeze as Cass grounds one towards short. Walsh on the edge of the infield, and too late on the throw to first. A tough play to make, and he couldn't get it.
It was a good attempt there by Walsh. He just didn't get enough power on the throw, but you can't blame him at all for that one.
Yeah, I believe I'll call that a base hit. Tough to call that an error. So Cass, the first base runner, however he gets on. And with 2 out and a runner on, here is John Giantonio, center fielder, 26 for 70 this season. Leader in walks for Hills. In fact, he's tied for the top 100 in the state in walks drawn with 20 this season.
Yeah, it's definitely good to know your pitch selection and really not swing on those first pitches and that sort of thing, and just really be in for the long haul. Not every at bat needs to be that home run or even base hit.
Cass getting back to first. That pitch inside, so Giantonio ahead in the count. Excuse me, it's 1-1. Scratch that. And he does have an over 500 on-base percentage, and he's slugging an even 500 this season. Pickoff back to first, not in time on Cass.
Right. Westwood's definitely, we've had some good pickoffs that I've seen this year. Just last game we had a pickoff on second, and you definitely gotta be careful on the baselines. That's fundamentals even.
Strike 2 called. Good breaking ball from Ceratelli, and it's 1-2 for Giantonio, trying to advance Cass here, or even bring him in with a deep drive. It is a low fence out where we are. Over in left and up to center field, it's a bit taller, but out here it's pretty low, about knee high.
Right, definitely the type of fence for ground rule double, bounce it right into our hands, Matt.
Yeah. Still 1-2 for Giantonio after the foul ball. And here comes the pitch from Ceratelli. 2 out, Cass at first base. Swing and a miss. K number 2 for Joe Ceratelli, the Westwood senior. And at the middle of the second, we are still scoreless. Here we go with Charles Sarlo. Westwood allowed a base runner in the top of the second inning. Now the Cardinals trying to get back on the offensive side. Sarlo, the Cardinal catcher, batting 24 for 77 this year with a team-leading 5 doubles and swings and misses right there.
Yeah, Sarlo definitely has a bit of a power threat as well. Just last game he had a deep foul ball out, I believe, right field, and it literally took the umpires a second. They needed to figure out if it was a foul or home run, and they did rule it foul. But once he got back in the dugout, he said to me, "Paul, did you see that? Was that out or was that in?" And I just looked at him. I said, "I don't know, man. I don't make the calls."
Hills had a similar situation to that in our Dumont game when Jake Szabo hit a deep drive to left that could have walked the game off, and the umpires ruled it foul. It was right on there, but it could have hit one of the mesh nets that protects the softball field and the baseball outfield.
Right. All right, and it looks like he worked a walk here.
Yes, he did.
Very
so
nice.
Both teams with a base runner, although Westwood's comes with no outs on the first batter of this second inning. Hills, their base runner came on 2 outs. And that brings up Vin Ceratelli, the second baseman this season, a freshman, batting 24 for 65.
And we got our courtesy runner going in for Sarlo there. Let's see if I can make out the number. I think I got an 11 there.
I agree with you. That is Vincent Santite, the junior, with 3 stolen bases. A chopper caught by Cass. He throws to second. Not in time. Did step on first, so 1 out. And I guess we could call that a fielder's choice.
Right. Yeah. Vincent Santine. He definitely has. He definitely has the speed tool, and when you have a league like this where you're allowed the courtesy runner, you definitely need a role like that.
Yes. So Santite at second, and that brings up Nick Klein, the third baseman.
The third baseman and the third brother of the Klein family.
32 for 77 this year. Takes strike one.
He had if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he went 4 for 4 in our last playoff game. So he's definitely been on a bit of a hot streak. So you got to give that one to him.
That's inside. Nearly got Klein, but did not. 1-1 at the plate. The Hills fielders are Joe Napolitano on the mound. Jake Szabo, as usual, the catcher. Dylan Cass, the freshman, starts at first. Gavin O'Donnell at second. Emerson Cho at short. And at third is the senior Kyle Wankus. The outfielders from left to right is we get a check swing and a strike there to make it 1-2. The outfielders from left to right is Kyle Marquez, John Giantonio, and Christian Lee. 1-2 at the plate for Nick Klein with Jack Tercina on deck.
Just passing by us, walking into the bleachers was Coach Charles Collis of Westwood softball.
Hey.
So he's checking into the game.
Good to see him here.
Yeah.
At the plate, 2-2 for Klein.
Santine getting a lead off there.
That's popped up foul, so we'll stay with this 2-2 count.
That one's definitely going in the creek.
Fish that one out later.
Not my job.
Thank God. Still 2-2 at the plate as Klein tries to work this into a battle. One down and a runner at second. Still a scoreless game. That pitch outside from Napolitano, so we have a full count now. Trying to avoid 2 walks in the first 3 batters he's faced in this inning.
All right, that's something you definitely don't want to see, especially this early. A lot of baseball to play.
That's popped up and again foul and hit off a fallen tree branch, it looked like, a tree trunk. Still 3-2, and Klein has turned this at bat into a war.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Coach Urbanovich has some of the freshman players pick out the foul balls from the grass.
Well, a rite of passage, I guess.
I suppose. Oh, Santine's going.
And he'll be negated again. I believe he went on the last pitch, but a foul ball there, a foul ball here.
Imagine the dynamic if they had courtesy runners in the MLB.
Ooh.
That would give a lot of guys like Tim Castro types a lot more playing time.
I agree. Here's the 3-2. And that's fouled off again. An update from Ramsey, where the winner of this one faces the winner of Riverdale, and Ramsey still scoreless in the top of the third. We should have info on who's won that just before this game ends. Still 3-2 at the plate. That's one semifinal. And the winner of Vernon and Sparta playing Glenrock as that hit him. So Klein, perhaps the happiest batter I've ever seen off a hit by pitch, wins the battle. And Napolitano, off of a walk and a hit by pitch, has allowed 2 runners in the first 3 batters of the bottom of 2.
Well, I mean, it's almost, think of it as a mental thing. I mean, what else can you really do after getting hit by a pitch besides just really take it with such an energy, I guess.
So now Jack Tercina, the junior first baseman, 11 for 44 this season, took his 100th career at-bat in the Sussex Tech game where he pitched. In there for strike 1.
Right, Tercina, definitely he had a wonderful game, pitched a wonderful game last week, or well, not last week, but a couple days ago, and really, I believe he was one of the players in the postgame that got the game ball.
Hey, how about that?
Oh.
Szabo with a good block behind the plate, 1-1 for Tercina. And he's going to pop this one up towards Marquez and left, charging and sliding after that. He could not get there, but it is a foul ball.
heard one of the fans scream, "Bad call, man." I don't, I'm not too sure, but
It was close. We don't have a very good vantage point.
right, we don't have the Yes Network super shot.
No, we do not. 1-2 now for Tercina. And here's a line drive past a diving Cho. That will score one. The throw home might get him. Zabo missed the tag. That's a very surprising move.
I'm a little confused what happened there. It looked like he was pump faking to third or second, and he just saw Santine walk right by him.
That was very shocking for me. But Santine comes home. The first run of this game, Westwood leads 1-0.
Well, I mean, chalk it up to mental error or whatever, but my boys are on the board.
Still 2 on, 1 out.
Let's see, who do we got now?
And this is Jackson Kirkby, the DH.
All right, Jackson Kirkby, a freshman, I believe. Yeah, and he's had some solid contributions all season so far, and he's been filling a really good role in that sort of 9 spot-ish.
Fouled that one off. 1-1 for Kirkby, who's DHing for Saratelli today. Just 4 for 7 this season, but has made it count with 3 RBIs.
Now, a little bit of interesting off-topic trivia. Kirkby's mother.
This is popped up, and O'Donnell back to grab it. He does. 2 down, but Westwood still got that opening run. Very crucial in a game like this.
Well, to finish that thought, Kirkby's mother was actually my first grade teacher.
How about
here
that?
At Westwood, so really a community vibe.
There you go. Bruno Vega now, the right fielder and the last batter in the Westwood lineup. As you said, Paul, the football quarterback in the fall. 19 for 70 on his sophomore season.
Yeah.
And really his rookie season on varsity.
Right. QB1, but he plays baseball as well for now. But, it's definitely, there is a lot of, obviously, Westwood football, Westwood baseball overlap. So, I could definitely see him sticking to both sports for a while, really.
There's a good pitch from Napolitano on the high edge of the zone. Here comes the 0-1. That's a little too high.
Yeah. Klein on second was taking a little bit of a lead off there. And, he's a little bit, I'd say he's a bit of a run risk. He definitely has a bit of a speed tool.
This season, 15 stolen bases. I believe the next closest Westwood base runner has 5.
Right, so.
1-2 at the plate for Vega. 2 out, 2 on. Trying to lengthen this Westwood lead. Cardinals got on the board a moment ago. That's fouled off. And with 2 strikes and 2 outs, wouldn't be surprised if they steal on every subsequent pitch.
Right, it's all runners must go right now.
Yep. Run on contact or even before contact.
One of my favorite things about Bruno Vega is really his maturity. He was thrust into the starting QB role at a camp this past season, and he took it all in stride and was very professional, and he seemed like a veteran out there.
2-2 off a high fastball from Napolitano.
Coming into the last football season, it was definitely a big question mark of what we're going to do with quarterback coming off of two quarterbacks, Robbie Karsich and then Sean Morrison. But then Bruno Vega, it feels like from a fan's perspective, just fell down from the heavens.
Sabo, good job to keep the base runners in place off that wild pitch from Napolitano, and it is a full count at the plate for Vega now. A walk loads the bases and brings up Jack Walsh. Huge pitch with 2 outs and 2 on. In there, strike 3 called. Napolitano with his first K of the day, but Westwood gets on the board. 1-0 lead for the North 1 Group 2 top seed. Third inning now. We have some scores from the other 2 games going on. Vernon up 1-0, the 3 seed leading Sparta in the top of the 7th, trying to close it out right now with no outs and no runners on for the Spartans. If Sparta loses, Hills would be the lowest remaining seed. And speaking of Hills, this is Gavin O'Donnell, who fouls that one off. It's 0-2. We also have a score in the Riverdale-Ramsey game where the Hawks lead the Rams 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Winner of this game playing the winner of that game. If Hills wins, it would be at the winner of that. If Westwood wins, they're hosting, and they have home field advantage throughout this sectional tournament.
So one brother right now is getting the job done, one's not. That seems like it's going to be an awkward dinner conversation if that's how it plays out.
The Urbanovich coaching brothers, as there's a base hit for O'Donnell, trying to get him at first, but it's not even close. Good effort, though. Good to see.
You could see a little bit of a QB motion on that one.
Yeah. No surprises with that being Vega in right field. O'Donnell with a base hit. That's the 2nd for Hills today, also the 2nd base runner. And that brings up the Hills pitcher, Joe Napolitano, who surrendered a run in the bottom of the 2nd, trying to get that back here in this season from the plate, 18 for 67.
For 67?
Yes. Don't try it. Pick off at first, not in time.
See, this is fun because on the Westwood broadcast, I'm the serious one, but here I get to be the funny one.
Napolitano showing bunt at 2nd, throw off the bag, so O'Donnell will steal.
If that was a little bit more on target there, and when I say a little bit, I mean maybe more like a yard or so, it would have been closer than it was.
Scoreboard does not show a count. I believe it is 1-1. Coach Evans coming out, as Napolitano may have held that bunt out a little too long, in my opinion. And they're going to call it a foul ball, actually, so O'Donnell's going to have to go back to first.
Bit of a late call, but you know, they got to cross the T's, dot the I's, really.
We have different opinions on that one. 1-1. And he'll take strike 2.
Well, at least they haven't implemented ABS challenge yet.
I'd like to see that in high school
Well,
baseball. That'd be funny.
yeah, our field doesn't even have power.
That skipped in the dirt. 2-2 now.
Yeah, to get ABS would be a bit of a challenge. First, we need to get a power line, then we need to get a camera line, then a internet line.
Yeah.
So at that point, just install a stadium.
Pickoff not in time to O'Donnell at first. And here comes the 2-2. A line drive towards short, could be two. Throw to second in time, turn to first. Is
Nice.
there. A huge double play, 6-4-3. And Westwood leads 1-0 at the middle of three. For the second time, Jack Walsh, who flew out to begin this game, now leads off in the bottom of the third with his Cardinals up 1-0 on Pascack Hills, and he takes strike one.
I remember back about 2 years ago, my sophomore year, Walsh was the backup quarterback for the championship football team, and every time that they'd put him in during a garbage time or times where Westwood is up by a good margin, I remember it. I always remember because I'd be in the press box for this. I would remember Coach Abramovich, who was the clock operator for Westwood football. He would always say, "Oh my God, why are they putting him in? That's my star pitcher right there. That's my ace."
2-1 for Walsh, and he pops one up. It's going to go foul down the first base line. So 2-2 for Walsh here, trying to avoid his second straight out and get on base for the first time in this game this season, a .568 on base percentage. And he'll have a full count. Line drive, and again foul by Wenkus at third.
Yeah, and it's foul down the left side, which we're in. We're foul down the right side, or it's on the other side of us.
Yes.
And our depth perception can't really do us much good on that. So, yeah.
3-2 is fouled off as well.
Definitely battling here.
Yep. Another battle that Napolitano trying to win this one this time. The last one really with Nick Klein ended in a hit by pitch. Let's see. Another 3-2 to Walsh. Line drive, good barrel. Cho at short. Throw to first. Over Cass, he was off the bag.
Foot off the bag, and Walsh gets in there for the single. That was an excellent throw, though, by throwing to first, though. So it definitely, both sides, can't fret about that.
I don't know if it was excellent, they would have got him.
Yeah.
Here's Arcieri now, who grounded out on his first at-bat.
Yeah, Arcieri also has an older brother, Sam Arcieri, who also played for Westwood for baseball and basketball, I believe. He was a contributor in his year.
Showing bunt, that goes down the first base line, and Cass will tag him. At second, Walsh is safe. So the sac bunt works as intended. And now it's Steve Klein. Another young man who grounded out in the first. And we have some news from Ramsey again. They've tied it up.
All right.
Middle of the fourth, and it's tied at 1.
Yeah, a big proponent of the Westwood baseball program, and I would probably assume the Ramsey program is that brother rivalry, and they design a lot of things, a lot of training exercises and drills to definitely beat the other one. Like I remember a couple years ago when the prospect Will Kirk was on Ramsey, they actually had I believe it was a Will Kirk drill where they had someone like kind of recreating his pitches like a scout team.
Yep. 0-2 at the plate for Klein here.
But
and
yeah.
That's got to be something that everybody looks forward to, especially being in the same division, so you see him twice. A called third strike, or perhaps Klein swung at that one. He's still standing there, but it doesn't look like he's ready to bat. Umpire's talking with Coach Urbanovich here. And Klein will strike out.
See, that's Klein. That's absolute professionalism there. He just stood there. He didn't try to make a scene or anything, and he just once he got the ruling, he just walked right off.
So 2 down with Walsh at second base. Here's Charles Sarlo, who walked in the second inning, then was pinch ran for by Vincent Santate. And Santate, the opening and so far only run of this game.
The fans here in the outfields, rooting for Sarlo here.
And a poor pitch from Napolitano on the first one. It's 1-0 for Sarlo at the plate. That one popped up and going foul onto the other side of the creek.
Yeah, the way the field is set up, that's usually where a lot of visiting families and people they sit, and yeah, it's definitely a little bit of foul ball risk though.
Well, they're ready.
Yeah. What does the sign say? Like at all the stadium, be on alert for bats and balls.
This one's going to be fair. O'Donnell charging back at it, and nobody got there at home. He is safe. That is Walsh. Can't be doing that.
Yeah, and Sarlo is amped up at first. The Westwood fans here to our right, the Westwood crazies as they call them, definitely living up to their name at the moment.
And out comes Evans to talk with O'Donnell, who might be taking the brunt of the blame for that one, going back at it in the outfield when probably should have left it to Lee or Giantonio, who were both there.
Yeah, you can't see that, especially at a level a game the stakes is this. It's that is the type of things that'll get you heckled by the fans and right.
So this is Vin Saratelli now. Saratelli, who got on via fielder's choice, and he'll take strike one. He's certainly a fan favorite. And going. Oh, that's off the bag. So it's a stolen base for Vincente Santit again.
Yep, Santine, absolutely one of the biggest speed threats here on the team.
There's a reason he's a pinch runner. According to the scoreboard, 0-1 at the plate. Line drive foul. About the same place. And we have a 1-2 count. Ground ball towards Cho, charges at it, throws to first. Not in time. At home, though. No!
And Santine safe at home after beating out the catcher once again. So and that brings Westwood up now 3-0.
3-0 Cardinals. And here is Nick Klein, who reached on a hit by pitch and trying to keep this run going. He fouls off the first one.
But yeah, Pascack Hills definitely at the moment giving the Westwood crowd a lot to get riled up about.
Yeah, they are. 0-1 for Klein. And instead a pickoff to first, which is not in time on Saratelli.
It got overcast here real quick. There's a cloud that's just covering the sky over the field now. It was, we had a nice sunny earlier, but it's still not too cold.
Napolitano stepping back on the mound. Here comes the 0-1. One ball, one strike. And another pickoff that is late.
Saratelli taking a lead off first.
Looked like he was going to go. Elicits a pop from Zabo, but not a throw. And at the plate, 2-1.
Yeah, Hills is definitely keeping an eye on Saratelli there. They're ready to go if he decides to run.
That's high. 3 balls and 1 strike for Nick Klein. The 3-1 from Napolitano.
And
a called strike on the low corner there. Full count.
Get the ABS.
Yeah, that was questionable.
Yeah. But we're on an angle, so.
Here's the 3-2. Big pitch trying to get some momentum back. Line drive towards O'Donnell. Throw to first is in time. Westwood gets 2 in the third. They lead 3-0 on Pascack Hills after 3 innings. Welcome back to Westwood Regional High School. Matt Merlino with Paul Hakimian. Some news from around this section where Connor McNally is up for Ramsey. The Rams now have a 3-1 lead as Klein makes a catch in center field here to put Marquise away.
All right, so Ramsey, they're back up where we could see the brother game.
We could.
Back in
Also
play.
some news for the other semifinal. We told you that Glen Rock beat High Point, the 7 over the 2 in an upset there. In the other the other quarterfinal on that side of the bracket, as this one's popped up by Cho and Fowl. A battle out in Sussex County between Vernon and Sparta. Vernon was up 1-0 in the top of the 7th. Sparta came back and took a 2-1 lead. Now bases loaded for Vernon, trying to win and advance to the section semifinals, and they have. They walk it off 3-2. We just got live word. Here's a fly ball to Klein, and 2 up, 2 down, all thanks to Steve Klein in center.
So, Matt, I haven't asked, but are any other Pascack Hills teams still going in the States right now?
Softball lost to Valley yesterday. You saw that one. Girls lacrosse also lost to Pequannock. Boys tennis is in their sectional final against Glen Rock at Glen Rock on Tuesday.
Yeah, right now, this is it for Westwood here, just baseball.
Here's Jake Zabo. 2 outs, none on. And the 1-0. In there, strike 1. Good pitch from Saratelli.
Yeah, Saratelli, like I said, one of his best traits is just his dependability.
And that's low and away, 2-1 for Jake Zabo, the Hills catcher, who today grounded out in the second. And here's a chopper. Yep, right back to Saratelli. Tough throw. But he makes it.
Gets it done.
Still 3-0 Cardinals at the middle of 4. So the other semifinal is set. It's number 7 Glen Rock at number 3 Vernon. And now we await the winner of this one and the winner of Riverdale Ramsey. Right now, bottom of the fourth, Westwood up 3-0. And Ramsey leading 4-1 in the bottom of the fourth there.
And here's Tercina.
Yes, it is. Who had an RBI single back in the second. That gave him the lead.
That one getting away from Hills.
1-1 at the plate here. And there's a deep drive.
Coming
Lee
right
after it, but it will drop. And turning for two is Tercina. He will get there.
See, Matt, even though we're out here, they're bringing the game to us.
Yes, they are. That brings up Jackson Kirkby, who flew out on his first at-bat, the freshman.
If that ball bounced over our little friends in front of us, I would have scooped it up. That's some playoff memorabilia right there.
Yeah. Kirkby showing bunt pulled back there, 1-0. And there's a ground ball off the bunt and going foul down the third base line.
No outs here in the bottom of the fourth.
1-1 for Kirkby. Runner at second, that is Jack Tercina. Here comes the pitch. And fouls that one off again.
You know, Matt, it's really something that we tried to get a game, collabs going all year, and then we get two in the same week. Isn't that's great. And two playoff games too.
Two playoff games, 1-2. Little high, evens up the count.
Tercina showed a little bit of lead off there, but I think he saw the high pitch, definitely got spooked.
Line drive, good hit, but Cho gets there, throw back to second, gets away from O'Donnell.
Tercina
back towards
to
Lee, Tercina going to get to third. And another fielding error for the Broncos.
Tercina there, seeing the ball go away from him, and definitely some heads-up base run. Now coming up, we got QB1, Bruno Vega.
Vega, who struck out in the second. Sac fly opportunity. Line drive. Past Napolitano's arm. And it's another mishap for Pascack Hills in the field. 4-0 Westwood lead.
Yeah, some of these things you just can't have some of these sort of mistakes, but sometimes they're a little unavoidable. So here's I believe Steve Klein now coming up.
This should be Jack Walsh if that was just Vega.
Oh. See, it's the single-digit numbers. It's hard to see from there.
Pickoff not in time. And Walsh today on base once, back an inning ago. Was able to get home then. And that's outside.
As I mentioned earlier, Walsh is going to Rowan University for baseball.
And D3 in South Jersey.
All right, and Rowan's a very good program. So, definitely wish the best to him.
Very good sports down there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the 1-0. And that is low, ball 2. Two-0 is in there for strike 1.
Walsh also with some solid contributions in the basketball season, serving as a starter for the team.
And that's fouled off. What was 2-0, now 2-2. Full count again. And Napolitano working his pitch count up now. Don't know exactly, but it's high for the 4th inning.
Right. And I don't have. You have the stats in front of you, Matt. But there's another walk. What does that make it today?
That would be just his 2nd walk.
Oh, and then plus the hit batter.
Yes.
So
But he's allowed plenty of base runners.
Right. Yeah.
Some of which not his own fault, but still credited. And this is Gabe Arcieri, sack bunted on the last at-bat in the 3rd to move Walsh over. Could do that here with 1 out.
Yeah, Arcieri, another starter on basketball.
And swinging and missing at that one. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, that was high. 1-1 for Arcieri at the plate. Pickoff, not there.
Runners on first and second. Vega on second, Walsh on first.
Sun coming back out, 1-1. That's inside. No, it was strike on the inside corner.
Sun and the Sun's going back in a little now. That was a nice little Sun preview though.
Ground ball. Cho in the edge of the outfield and doesn't even get a throw off.
One of the Westwood fans screaming, "You gotta throw it, man!" Yeah.
So now Steve Klein, who's 0 for 2 today. And out comes Coach Evans to talk.
Right. That definitely, before seeing a hitter like Klein, you definitely want to try to straighten out Napolitano a little bit.
Here we are. The quick mound conference over, and now it's Steve Klein. It's in there, strike 1 on Klein, who struck out an inning ago.
Another little bit of Steve Klein trivia. Steve Klein actually was my.
Here, a ground ball, throw home. Zabo does not secure it. And it is 5-0 Westwood.
So Steve Klein, he was my first on-camera appearance. He was my first player interview ever. So, now we're here. So I guess it worked out.
This is Charles Sarlo, a crowd favorite it seems. With Walsh at third, Arcieri at second, and Klein at first.
Matt, do you remember what the first player you interviewed was?
Sophia Kelly from Pascack Hills Volleyball back in the fall. Napolitano behind in the count early 2-0. And there's a strike called. Well-placed pitch. Popped foul, 2-2. And this one popped up towards Lee in right. He'll make the grab, throw home.
And drops it
Again. Dropped by Zabo.
Very shaky day for Zabo today. Just, absolutely not what you want to see in a game like this.
Cardinals lead 6-0.
Cardinals scored a touchdown, extra point coming up.
And it might be Vin Saratelli to give it to them. Two runners in scoring position. 0-1 at the plate for Saratelli, who's been on twice today and had an RBI single in the third.
Oh, almost got away from him there.
Good block by Zabo.
Runners at second and third taking healthy leadoffs.
Two and one. Runner at third is Arcieri. At second, Steve Klein.
Klein really, you don't think of it for a big guy, but he has that speed threat. It's one of his best assets.
Popped up foul. 2-2. He is a running back going to a power school.
Yeah, they're mainly going to be using him on defense, if I've heard correctly, though. And he's on defense. He flutters between linebacker, safety, and such, which.
We got a chopper foul again, but you need speed for any of those positions.
Absolutely. And you need the right mindset as well. And Klein, like I mentioned earlier, absolute professional, absolute team player, really almost like an Aaron Judge type.
So 2-2 for Saratelli here, trying to get on base for the third straight time and the third straight inning. Strike three called, and that ends another big inning for Westwood. They add 3 runs and lead 6-0 at the end of 4. This is Christian Lee for just the second time in this game. And Hills really needing some runs now, some offense in general. 6-0 in the top of the fifth. Lee grounded out in the first inning. Only 2 hits and 2 base runners all day for the Broncos.
And with the top of the fifth inning here, they are starting to run out of time.
This one popped up towards Klein in center. It's deep, but Klein gets after it and makes the grab in front of all of us. One out in the top of the fifth. He made 2 of those grabs in the fourth inning and starts the fifth with 1 of those as well. Here's Cass, the 1 of 2 hitters today for Hills, who's actually gotten on base. Fouls off pitch number 1.
But one of the Westwood fans over here, as Steve Klein was walking away, screamed to him, "Steve, can I get your autograph?"
That's inside, 1-1. And Cass taking ball 2. That's looked a little low, but I believe a called strike 2-2. Caught the corner.
So, Matt, it's Friday. What's your weekend plans look like?
Line drive for Cass, bouncing at second, throw to first in time. No comment. 2 down on 2 batters. Here is John Giantonio, the center fielder, who struck out in the second. A high ball there for Saratelli to start. Today, 3 Ks for Saratelli, but again, just 2 base runners allowed. There's a ground ball for a base hit into left center. Giantonio with 2 outs gets on.
All right, and like Coach Collis said a couple of days ago, just got to take it one thing at a time. So right now, Pascack Hills, I think, should kind of be living by that mantra. They shouldn't get too ahead of themselves.
It's O'Donnell now, who was also the other batter to get on base. Here's a deep drive and dropping out by the wall in right field. Giantonio losing the helmet. He's going to come home and slides in. A triple for Gavin O'Donnell. Maybe not dead yet, but it's a bit late.
But like I said, could be the start of something, and that's at that moment, that's what you could hope for.
So an RBI triple for O'Donnell. That gets Hills on the board, 6-1, with 2 outs in the top of the fifth. And here's Joe Napolitano, the pitcher, with a chance to help himself. O'Donnell at third base, 2 outs. Napolitano struck out on the first at-bat. Ooh, that hit him, and that hit him hard.
Ooh, off the helmet.
It looked like it might have hit his shoulder or upper back.
Yeah.
If it was the helmet, they would have checked on him with a lot more care.
That's true.
But it's a hit by pitch. Coach Urbanovich coming out to the mound.
Oh, yeah, that one, no matter where it was, definitely got some bounce.
And it did. We'll take a break here. from Ramsey. 4-1 in the middle of the sixth. 6-1 here in the top of the fifth. 2 on and 2 out. This is Kyle Wenkus trying to drive in a run that would make the lead 4 runs for Westwood. Got a 1-0 count here. And a pickoff at first.
That was close.
Not in time, but it was close. Wenkus today 0 for 2, including grounding into a double play on his last at-bat in the third. And he lifts one into deep right field, charging back, and Klein makes the grab at the wall.
And he throws the ball out to the crowd.
And they'll get a souvenir, and Westwood retains their lead. It's down to 5 runs, but still a considerable amount at the middle of 5. Welcome back. The bottom of the 5th inning now, and Westwood trying to keep all the momentum for themselves. Can't blame them. It's Nick Klein now on base once via hit by pitch, grounded out in the 3rd, and did not bat in the 4th inning. The only Westwood batter that did not hit in the last inning. One and one for Klein, the younger of the 2 on the team currently, and the 3 total. As this one's popped foul.
Off the lamppost, off the light. But yeah, youngest of the 3 and the only one to play basketball.
There you go, 1 and 2. Now Steve's got good size, but I guess didn't want the overlap between fall and spring.
Right, and
Ew.
and I mean you can't say it didn't work out for him, because he's able to fully commit to the fall and the spring, really.
Yes, he is. 2 and 2.
No, I'm sure there is a little bit of overlap, because football, of course, they start early.
Yes. That's in there, called strike 3, sitting down Nick Klein and bringing up Jack Tercina. Yes. 4 Ks for Napolitano today, had 9 when he pitched in the win against Westwood 5-2 back in mid-May. Tercina, who has an RBI single and a double today. And there's a drive going foul. Marquise trying to get after it, and just a little bit late.
Tristina, very reliable, solid contributor at the bats, and definitely proved his worth at pitching last game as well.
It was a 10-2 Westwood win against 16th seeded Sussex Tech on Wednesday. Hills had a 7-4 win against West Milford in their first round game 2 days ago.
Yeah, Westwood definitely living up to the 1 seed reputation.
0-2, good framing by Zabo there. And 3 pitches, 3 strikes from Napolitano, 2 straight, or should I say 3 straight Ks for Napolitano, going back to Saratelli in the last inning. And that brings up Jackson Kirkby, who is 0 for 2 today.
So Spurs and Thunder, Game 7.
Yeah, that'll be something to watch tomorrow night.
I mean, either way, the Knicks are the real winners of that game because they get to sit on the couch at home and watch.
I don't think it's going to help them as much as it did against Philly or Cleveland.
But that is a coincidence, though.
Ground ball towards Cho. It's short. Throw to first. In time. 3 up, 3 down for Napolitano, trying to get some of that defensive momentum back. After 2 big innings for the Cardinals, it's 6-1 at the end of 5. And we welcome you back with Kyle Marquise. It's Marquise, Cho, and Zabo, the 2-3-4 due up in a pivotal top of the 6th inning with Hills down 5 runs to Westwood, the North 1 Group 2 quarterfinals. It will be Vernon hosting Glen Rock next Wednesday in the first semifinal as we get a ground ball towards second from Marquise here that will put one away. And Westwood 5 outs away from advancing to play. As of right now, Ramsey up 4-1 on Riverdale and 2 strikes away from advancing to the sectional semis. Westwood looking for their first sectional semi appearance since 2022 when they went to the North 1 Group 2 final. And really, the sectional semifinals can be considered the state Sweet 16 round.
Right, it's because the updated state structure.
Ooh, good hit by Cho. I believe that's fair, and
right
it is. He's going to round first, and it's a 1-out double for Emerson Cho. So we'll see if that gains some momentum. Cho's first hit of the day. And as you were saying, Paul, you of course play down to a section champion, but that's really then gets you into the Final Four because there's 4 sections, and then each group plays down to an overall state champion in the group.
Right. You know, it's a different game from yesteryear, where sectional champion was the championship, and you win that and you say you are the champion. But now it's a little bit more than that.
0-1. Zabo fouled off his first pitch. He's 0 for 2 today, but so was Cho. We'll see if he can score, the shortstop at second base. And there's a line drive, getting through, a base hit. Cho will stay at third. Good job in left field to back that up.
So now Hills has runners at the corners.
Yes, they do, and it's Christian Lee, who this season, 25 RBIs. Today, though, 0 for 2.
All right, they're coming out to have a quick chat with Saratelli.
And we'll take a break. And we welcome you back. This is Christian Lee, as we said. Saratelli still out there. Lee lifts one into center. It is Klein who makes the catch, tagging, and scoring is Cho. So a sac fly from Christian Lee makes this a 6-2 ball game with 2 out in the top of the 6th.
At Pascack Hills, obviously they only have 4 outs to do it, but they're starting a little something here.
Will it be too little, too late? Let's see if the freshman Dylan Cass can do something here. Saratelli couldn't get the pick off. Good pitch from Joe Saratelli. Strike 1 there. Cass is 1 for 2 today, grounded out an inning ago. Saratelli with 3 strikeouts, had a pretty perfect first 4 innings, only allowed 2 runs, as there's a good play at short. Smart play to throw it to second instead of first on his knees. And at the middle of 6, Westwood 3 outs away, trying to add some insurance. It's 6-2 Cardinals. It's over in Ramsey. 4-1 Rams win, and it looks like we're set for another battle of the brothers in the sectional semis, Paul.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Those games always bring the energy.
Gavin O'Donnell has come on in relief for Joe Napolitano this season. O'Donnell, as he faces Bruno Vega for his first batter, it's 0-1 at the plate. This season, O'Donnell 16 strikeouts and a 3.61 ERA over 21.1 innings, all in relief.
I'd say out of the brother rivalry, though, the one thing I am a little bit jealous of Ramsey is their field in a baseball complex. It is very nice up there.
They spent quite a bit
Yeah.
on their athletic program in general. Zabo couldn't secure that. 2-1 for Vega, who's 1 for 2 today with an RBI.
The one thing, though, it's not on site. It's off site. So I didn't know that. So I parked at Ramsey High School and had to do a little walking.
Oh, well. The 2-1 is high and away. 3 balls, 1 strike for Vega, with Walsh and Arcieri due up this inning as well. Here's the 3-1 inside, but a called strike. Elicited a dodge from Vega, but umpire called that in the zone. 3-2. And this one skied towards Marquise in left field. Napolitano is now in center. That moves John Giantonio over to right. And in the infield, some changes with Lee moving from right to third. And Wenkes moving from third to second to replace O'Donnell. It will be a walk for O'Donnell on his first at-bat of this game. Vega on base for the second straight time.
And I think that brings up, once again, Jack Walsh.
So it's Walsh on base the last 2 at-bats off of an error and a walk, and has come home on both of them. And taking ball 1 there, had to duck.
Hey, just like dodgeball. Dodge, duck, I don't remember the other ones.
Pickoff from O'Donnell, not in time, although well placed towards Cass at first. No outs, runner at first. That got away from Zabo, and stealing second is Vega.
Very shaky day from Zabo.
According to the scoreboard, 1-1 at the plate. And that's popped up and foul. So 1-2 for Jack Walsh.
See, the interesting thing about this level of sports is that we're covering these guys like Walsh, and then tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, but Monday, I'm in class with them.
Yeah, also fouled off there. It's 1-2 still. That's kind of one of the things that makes us so unique.
Yeah, probably Monday, third period, Mr. Nelson. I'll probably be talking about the game with him.
Well, there you go.
And Steve Klein's there too, actually.
I was talking with Giantonio earlier, and Miss Gamgort's class, a big rope that goes foul. So Walsh battling here with O'Donnell. First time he's seen Gavin O'Donnell today. And that's also fouled off. So about 3 or 4 straight foul balls. And this at-bat Still 1-2.
Vega taking a lead off second.
Oh,
behind him.
Wow. 2-2 now. And with an even count, make it full.
All right, first base opens, and Vega at second.
Walsh coming over to talk with Coach Urbanovich in his 8th season with Westwood. 138 wins and 76 losses his record. His opponent on the Hills bench, Nick Evans, in his 5th season as head coach, 83 and 48 for his career, including a state championship in 2023. 3-2 for Walsh. The pitch from O'Donnell. Popped up towards shallow. Back is Wenkus in shallow right. He'll make that grab and put one away.
Leading up to the game today in gym class, I was talking to Coach Urbanovich and trying to get a little info out of him, and he said to me why do you want this info? Are you gonna be doing the game with the Pascack Hills guys? And I was like, maybe.
Well, could have been useful. I could have helped out some of our kids.
Yeah.
This is Gabe Arcieri, who grounded out, sack bunted, and reached on an error in his 3 at-bats prior to this one. He took strike 1 there.
Though the most I did get from him was I said to him that I'd assume either Walsh or Saratelli on the mound, and he said that would be a very good assumption. So, guess he was hinting a little there.
There you go. 0-2. And a line drive gets by O'Donnell, and Wenkus charging after it is Napolitano. He throws home. It's too late. Vega scores 7-2 Westwood. RBI single from Gabe Arcieri.
And Westwood just adding on, tacking them on at this point, and you know, I'm sure Pascack Hills just wants to get this inning over with.
So an RBI single for Arcieri, his first hit of this game. And now Steve Klein will come to the plate. He's got an RBI today. Got it in the 4th inning. Checked his swing. Should have went. Called strike 1. And that's too far outside. 1 out, 1 at first in a 5-run game. The Cardinals looking to move on to Ramsey next Wednesday in the sectional semifinals. They'll host the Rams in the brother battle if they can hang on to this lead. 1-2.
The fans in center getting a little chatty again.
There's a surprise. Anybody who knows Westwood. Pick off from O'Donnell. Nearly got him, but it did not. and that's fouled off. So Klein staying alive here. And he's got a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss from Klein. O'Donnell with his first strikeout of the day. 2 down to bring up Charles Sarlo, the Westwood catcher who has had himself a day. Walked and then was pinch ran for. And that pinch runner came home, had an RBI single, and then had an RBI off a sac fly. So technically, 2 for 3 in terms of getting on base, but that sac fly also contributing.
Absolutely.
One and 0. And that's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. I will say it's very comedic.
Right. Right now, kind of just got to let the crowd speak for themselves.
They have plenty to talk about. A 3-0 count in there for strike 1. Line drive caught by Lee at third. So 7-2 Westwood at the end of 6. And Paul, you've got somewhere to be.
Yeah, I have to get down by the dugout area to film the end of the game. But Matt, of course, thank you so much for having me again. We split the series this week, and it's always nice to be on these broadcasts and really seeing the local, broadcaster colleagues. And, I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know if it's going to be for Pascack Hills TV. I don't know if it's going to be for WCTV. But it's really, it's going to be a fun next 4 years. But, and Matt, definitely best of luck to you as well.
Thank you.
And just really, I guess that's it for me. So, just thank you all for watching.
Well, thanks for joining us and giving us the Westwood stories, Paul. Good luck at Syracuse the next 4 years, and it'll be good to see you down the road.
All right, thank you. I'm sure I'll pass. We'll cross again.
All right. So it is Joe Ceratelli trying to finish this out. 3 more outs, and the Cardinals will advance to the Northwind Group 2 semifinals, the Sweet 16 in the overall state tournament. It would be their first appearance on the second week of the state tournament since 2022, and they'd host Ramsey on Wednesday. This is John Giantonio with perhaps the final at-bat of a wonderful career, and he's got a 1-1 count. As of now, the final game for plenty of great careers, and they're going to call that a hit by pitch for Giantonio. Had to dodge that one, may have caught his back. So he'll get on. And that brings up another senior, Gavin O'Donnell, who took his 100th career at-bat earlier today for his career, 28 for 101. and had an RBI triple, his first career triple in the 5th inning. Puts him up to 13 RBIs for his career. The catcher, pitcher, and Coach Urbanovich, it looks like, are talking while somebody in gray over there is talking with both umpires and Coach Evans. Perhaps that's the Westwood trainer. And Giantonio's going to come back, so a reversal of that call. And our count, I believe, was 1-1. Scoreboard confirms. Joe Napolitano due up next. But here is Giantonio back in the batter's box, who is 1 for 2 today. 50th career hit earlier today. Good pitch from Saratelli for strike 2. So the North 1 Group 2 Final Four is shaping up to be Westwood and Ramsey, and then Vernon and Glenrock as Giantonio pops one up. It's dropped. And it'll be just one base for Giantonio. He reaches on an error as Vin Saratelli couldn't pull that in, squeezed his glove a little early. So now, Gavin O'Donnell, who, as we said, now 28 for 101 in his career, and had his first career triple earlier today, taking strike 1 there. Got Napolitano due up, or on deck, I should say, and then Kyle Wenkus after him, and it'd be fitting for Wenkus to get one final at-bat on one of the best careers Pascack Hills baseball has ever seen. The all-time hit leader in program history with 131 coming into this game, but today 0 for 3. 0-2 for O'Donnell. And that is inside 1-2. And that's popped up. Klein under it, 1 down. So here's Napolitano, over 100 career strikeouts, came in with 102 and recorded 3 more, so he'll finish his pitching career with 105, his hitting career now 26 for 102, and make that 27 for 103 with a base hit out to right. And here, for perhaps the final time in his storied career, is Kyle Wenkus. 0 for 3 today, so right now 131 for 310 on his career. 67 RBIs, 29 doubles, 5 triples, 10 home runs. A career average of 427 coming into today. Over 1,200 his OPS for his career before this game. 0-1 at the plate for Wenkus. 1 out, runners at second and first. Marquise on deck with Cho after him, and Zabo as well. Wenkus playing Division I baseball next year at Monmouth University, as is Zabo in Division III at William Patterson. And Giantonio also at the D3 level at FDU Madison. 2-1 for Wenkus. And swung and missed at that one. 0 for 3 today. Trying to get one last hit. Here's the 2-2. Low, full count. And Wankus will stay alive off that foul ball. The 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. And Hills down to their final out. And it's Kyle Marquise, who's also 0 for 3 today on his career, the speedy senior. 45 for 137 with 18 career stolen bases. And 22 RBIs, had a home run his first career earlier this year against Tenafly. And takes ball one right there. 2 on, 2 out in the top of the 7th. Westwood trying to go back to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2022. And it's a 2-0 count for Marquise. Two and one, called strike there. And here it comes. Popped up, and that's going to be foul. Saratelli trying to close out a complete game. 4 strikeouts. Only about 8 base runners allowed as Marquise fouls that off. Still 2-2. And here comes the 2-2. Fouled again. Could be it. The 2-2. Strike 3 called, and it'll be Westwood and Ramsey in the sectional semis next Wednesday. The Cardinals on to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2022. They made the section final that year and are looking to do the same, as Hills finishes their year with a 14-14 record. And that's it for Napolitano, Cho, O'Donnell, Marquise, Giantonio, Lee, Zabo, Wankus, and group. And for me as well. And so it is done. Thanks for joining me over these past 4 years. I hope you've all enjoyed it as much as I have. This is Matthew Merlino for one last time. So long. Thank you for watching this presentation of PH Athletics. For more information, visit hills.pascack.org/athletics.